What's up, everybody? I know the silent intro wasn't the best choice, but right now is the only choice with all the hits I've been getting with some of the copyright infringements that I thought were settled, but I guess not. But anyway, welcome back to another Bear Show. I'm Ivan Vargas. It's been a great week for sports talk. Great week for uh, if you're an avid football fan. Obviously, Super Bowl week's coming up, just had the Pro Bowl, but what I'm looking forward to and what you're looking forward to is free agency and obviously the NFL draft. And today I wanted to come out with my very first mock draft of the year. I'm going to try to do it in a special way here. I want to give people an opportunity to connect with me. So if you want to jump on today, I'll give the first three fans an opportunity to come on here. If you go and DM me at Ivan V underscore TTNL on X, I'll see if I could can't get you the link so you could come ahead and join me for the mock draft. I'm going to try to have two mock drafts. It's essentially, I want to give you one where it's Caleb. Obviously, you do go with the obvious pick. And then I want to explore a couple of other avenues that the Bears, in my opinion, would surprise the world in doing and trading back and trying to accumulate as much draft picks as possible. So we'll have essentially two 3-round mock drafts. Once I get into the second one, we'll probably extend it to, I want to say, uh, 5 rounds. And then from there, the third one would obviously be a complete draft. So if you want to join me, I'm going to give it some time. So then I'll give my DMs a look see and see who wants to join and chop it up and see if we can't have fun with this thing and try to solve the Bears problems on our own here on another Bears show. Make sure you become a patron today, www.thetapeneverlies.com. Let's get into this. There's been a lot of rumors flying around about Caleb Williams, about what the Bears are going to be doing. Obviously, there's some news out of Washington with Cliff Kingsbury becoming the new OC over there. I wouldn't put too much on that. I'm not going to say that it doesn't help having somebody that you've had a prior relationship with, um, you know, being on a team that potentially could draft you. But for me, this is a business. Washington has a quarterback and Sam Howell. They also have a top pick. So they, if it isn't Caleb Williams, it could be Drake May, it could be Jaden Daniels, whoever they decide it will be. I'm sure Cliff Kingsbury is going to be happy with their decision. But in my opinion, if Washington thinks they could just fucking walk it through the door and just take Caleb Williams without, severely setting their franchise back, I think they are sorely mistaken, because I think it'll take a blockbuster NFL trade, a historic type of trade, to pry the number one pick away from the Chicago Bears this year. And it should be that way. It shouldn't be a cakewalk for another franchise to come in here, pretty much lay out what they want, their demands, their wish list, if you will, and expect for it to be a cakewalk. I don't understand that. In my opinion, it's a slap in the face to the Chicago Bears, because I feel like some fans just think that the Bears are going to get finessed. They look back at Mitch Trubisky. They look at the difficulties Justin Fields has faced early in his career and some of the disappointments that he's you know that he's had that he's given us, and some of the he obviously they you take into consideration the better parts of Justin Fields' game. But right now I'm thinking, hey, you're looking at quarterbacks that are on the rise, right? Can Cliff Kingsbury fix it? Come in here and just change the entire Washington uh, offense around? Yeah, maybe. Can he do it with Cliff Kings or with Caleb Williams? Maybe. But first things first, you have to go to the Chicago Bears. And if I'm Ryan Poles, and we'll get into it a little bit later, because like I said, I wanted to create a scenario where this particular scenario later on in the show during the mock drafts, where we see we get a glimpse of what Washington has as far as picks, what they can offer us, what the Bears, may or may not do. And it'll be, like I said, it'll be me asking you. It won't be necessarily my strict opinion. And if we could get some people on here later on, it will definitely be more than just one opinion. But I would imagine that it would be an uphill battle for any team coming into this NFL draft, looking to trade up, looking to trade with the Chicago Bears, and not expecting the Bears to demand, your mama's house. You know what I'm saying? That not looking for the Bears to demand, the title to your car and everything everything else that you could imagine. So for me, it'll be regardless of Cliff Kingsbury, it should still be hell no, unless you're offering, like I said, you're offering the house. And what is the house? Well, for me, you have a few picks. You have what do you have? Two first round picks if you're Washington. You have another in the second. Let me go ahead and make sure I'm correct on this. Two picks for Washington. Yeah, you got number two, number no, no. So you're not in the first round. You got number two, number 36, just out of the first round. Then you have our pick in number 40, number 67 for the Washington Commanders, 100. And then obviously we'd be looking into, potentially a first or second round next year. Let me go ahead and jump into some of these comments real quick. Creighton C, yo, Lincoln Riley just called BS on all the Caleb rumors. Said his camp never spoke to anyone. Said teams are desperate to get him and are trying to get him to drop, just like they did with Stroud. It's every single year, Creighton, and you're absolutely right. The rumors are every single year, and it started with this. Yeah, and for me, it could be. It doesn't necessarily have to be Caleb speaking on it, right? It could be somebody that's close to him or somebody that thinks that they're close to him. It could be a mistake, or just somebody trying to make a name for themselves. But not everything I would say is a 100% lie. Not everything you hear is the truth. But I feel like Caleb Williams is just gonna let the chips play, or just let it play. He's just gonna let it play out. He's gonna allow himself to, you know, vet the teams that he has, that are going to be looking at him. Obviously, the Bears have the number one pick, but he's going to get interviewed by plenty more teams. So he's going to be, he's going to have a chance to vet Ryan Poles, Matt Eberflus. I'm sure Kevin Warren might be involved to an extent. He's going to get a chance to meet with Shane Waldron. There's going to be opportunities for him to cozy up to people and assess what he would like, as what he thinks the best destination for him or the best decision for him is. But to me, there really is no choice. The Chicago Bears offer the best decision, the best choice. If you want to go ahead and make a name for yourself right here, right now, you got a team that has potential. Defense is getting better, should be a lot better this year with the amount of draft picks and assets, or with the amount of money they have to attain assets and free agency. I feel like, what an opportunity here. You have a playmaking wide receiver in DJ Moore. You have a tight end who's emerged in Cole Kmet. Hopefully they continue to address this offensive line, because you have some talent there. Obviously, Darnell Wright, Tevin Jenkins when he's healthy. Nate Davis when he's healthy as well. I feel like Nate Davis is very solid on the line with us. And then obviously you have Braxton Jones. Braxton Jones for me is still a question mark. Is he good enough to play in the NFL? Yes. I don't think he's a Leno. But can you upgrade at the left tackle position? I absolutely believe you can. So, also looking at that ninth pick, and not only the number one pick, there's a lot of positives, a lot of quality and a lot of positives looking forward for the Chicago Bears. They can upgrade at tackle. They can upgrade. Um, Hell, they can upgrade at DB if they if they have a Kool-Aid fall far enough if they want. But in my eyes, I'm looking at offensive line and I'm looking at them drafting a quarterback in this upcoming draft. But yeah, I just don't believe the rumors. I don't believe the rumors. They do it every single season. They do it to every quarterback. It doesn't matter who you are. If you've won a Heisman, if you haven't, they'll make something up. Somebody will come out of the woodwork and say they smoked weed with you one time back at, when you were 13 or whatever the fuck it may be, or something else ridiculous. It happens to everybody. I take it with a grain of salt, man. You can't hold on to some of these rumors as 100% truth, because sometimes it just flat out isn't. What's up, Alex? What's going on? How are you, brother? Appreciate all the kind words that you give. Mike, what's going on? We are trying to have another great show. IV therapy to start. Yes, it is. Camel Toe Inspector. Honestly, like every time I see Camel Toe Inspector on the Bears chat, I'm just like, I giggle to myself. Yeah, it's just one of the funniest names out there in Bears, I guess Twitterverse or chatverse or wherever the hell you want to call it. It's hilarious. But yeah, I agree. Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams is my guy. Although I have an affinity for Justin Fields, it just hasn't been enough. It hasn't been enough. Jaron Thomas, what's going on? If I were polls, I'm drafting CW13 and trading Justin Fields. Well, that seems to be the idea that a lot of people want. Obviously, there's half of Bears fans want to see Justin Fields back. The other half want to go this route and attaining Caleb Williams, trading Justin Fields, and gathering as many assets as you can. For me, you look at the body of work Justin has given you. You wanna root for the guy. You want to root for the man. You like all the intangibles, but go back and tell me if it's enough. Go back and look at every single game, right? And I've watched every single game of Justin. I've watched the replays. I've watched, when Phil breaks down Tay, I watched it all. As much as I want him to succeed, it's not showing up on tape. It's not showing up on tape. So, yeah, Caleb Williams is my guy. We will be doing a couple different scenarios, like I said, because, hey, things happen. Maybe I'm completely wrong, and Ryan Poles has the idea of keeping Justin Fields and going ahead and adding more and more around him. Alan Bratcher, you did pick a good show to watch. You should jump on here too, Alan. If anybody wants Alan to come back on, go ahead and voice your opinion in the chat. He's always welcome. Try to get him out of the woodworks and come on and join us. But anyway, yeah, it should be a great show. Gonna have some people on. Hopefully, I'm gonna check this my DMs in just a second. Bullets, what's going on, brother? Appreciate you joining. Caleb Williams is better than Sam Howell. Yes, Caleb Williams is better than Sam Howell, but I mean, hey, if you don't end up with Caleb Williams, right? Are you going to be mad that you get a Drake May or you're going to get a Jaden Daniels? I mean, if you're if you have any good qualities in you as an OC, especially when you run the same type of system that some of these quarterbacks run, you would say, okay, I could get it done with him. I could get it. I understand the people have this generational idea of Caleb Williams. I think he's the best quarterback in the draft. I'm going to hold back my generational, statements until I see it in the NFL, until I see him produce against grown men in the NFL. That's just how I'm going to take it. I'm going to give him his flowers. He's Heisman Trophy winner. I think he's the best quarterback in this draft. But you want to talk about generational? Let's pump the brakes and let's watch you perform on Sundays. That's how you become generational, in my opinion. Caesar, realistic guy, Ivan, what would you take for you to move off of number one? Okay. If you have, obviously, we're going to be taking the number one there. So you have one number one in this year's draft. If they have another number one, in this year's draft, I'd take that too. Uh, let's say they don't. I would take the first, the second. I would take the first, the second, the first next year. If they don't want to come off the second, I'd take a third next year. And I'd probably take either a draft pick a year after that in 2026, or I would take another draft pick in 2025. And that's if I'm going realistically, if I'm going to be trading with anybody else. If this is who you want, come and get him. Washington's the one like wearing their heart on their sleeves right here. Like this should be held to the chest until somebody goes ahead and gives you a real, boom, I want this guy scenario. Because other than that, if they really want him, they're gonna go after him. But then there lies a question: hey, man, why are we gonna? So they want him this bad, unless you have assessed him lower than what they've had. I don't think you come off that pick, right? But for me, that's where we start talking, right? That's where the talking starts. What did I say? Number one, number two, probably move into maybe a one next year, a three next year, and then we're talking about either a lower draft pick the year after that, or even in the same year, in 2025. That's what we start talking. If you want him that bad, if going after Cliff Kingsbury and calling him a generational talent, if everybody thinks that this is what this kid will be, Pat Mahomes, that's what we start talking, in my opinion. If anybody disagrees, let me know. We could talk about it. 100% we could talk about it. But I think a king's ransom is the only way you move off of this number one pick. And if it's anything less, kick fucking rocks. All right, let's check. Let's see what's going on Twitter if anybody wants to join. Looks like everybody's going to just watch me do the draft, so I will just do that. Let's see a couple more questions and then we'll get into it. If Caleb Williams doesn't come to Chicago, got to deal with it. Well, yeah. I mean, obviously, we'll deal with it. I mean, I've said it before. If it's Justin Fields, obviously I'm gonna grit my teeth and be like, okay, you better be right. You better be right. Am I gonna root against Justin Fields? No, I've already said that plenty of times on here. I like Justin Fields as as a player. If he develops into a great quarterback, that's entirely on Justin Fields, right? I don't think that right now you can say that he's done enough for me to be like, okay, yeah, I'm cool with running it back. And watching Caleb Williams perform, kind of listening to what majority of the scouts and majority of the league are saying, this guy is, that talented that you might want to take a shot on him with the number one pick. I don't mind that. And like I said, I don't mind that. If it's for me, Justin Fields, cool. Like I said, grit my teeth and accept it. I don't think he's done enough to warrant, him just or us just saying, hey, he's coming back, no doubt. It's a very large question in this city, in this organization, in the head of Ryan Poles. And like I said, King's ransom. Like I said, if I'm Ryan Poles, I'm asking for your mama's house, the dog, the title to the car. That if this is who you are, if everybody is set on this guy, that's where we start talking. You want him to change your franchise? Okay, this is what it costs. Yeah, Mike Lynch. There's a chance here's a hidden gem of a quarterback in this draft. There's actually quite a few good quarterbacks this time. I agree. There's some good quarterbacks in the draft, and you could bring in a quarterback like a Bo Nix, like a JJ McCarthy. If you think you're going to get a quarterback in the first round, it's probably highly unlikely. Um, maybe even Bo Nix might be out of case. Maybe you might be thinking McCarthy in the early second round, potentially later first. But I don't see why he would be a late first. Uh, then you're talking Penix. There's some quarterbacks out there that I would like to see. You know, come in and develop or just develop on their own in the NFL and see what they have. But you take a guy on another developmental type of approach, which is fine. If it doesn't work out and you watch Caleb Williams succeed, it's just you're gonna be kicking yourself in the ass again. We've already watched it once when two guys went, and we all know Deshaun has his personal issues, being a pervert, and he's had some struggles on the field this year. He's had some injuries too. Then you have Patty Mahomes. Like, if can you live through that again, bro? Or ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if there's ladies out there. The analytics say we don't have any female fans. Maybe my wife, my ma. But yeah, anyway, you're not gonna. It's. I can't imagine the Chicago fan base being content with watching another franchise win with a quarterback that you could have potentially had. I think that would be it would be franchise deflating to the extent that I don't know if we could bounce back from it. I think you'd see a you would see a huge football depression, like a cloud, like the entire Chicago football fan base will be like Eeyore moping around the city if we give up another talent that turns out to be a multi Super Bowl winning quarterback. Can you guys? I mean, let me know. Can you go through it? I can't. I sure can't. Do I believe Justin can succeed? Can he overcome some of his flaws? Yeah, man. I believe in the kid because of who he is, but I just don't see him becoming a great NFL quarterback. Can he do a job? Can he have dynamic instances? Can he have this amazing escapability, athleticism? Of course, he has it all. But there's just something that's not on when it comes to throwing the football and playing quarterback from what I've seen in 3 years. And I'll give him I'll even say 2 years because I really don't I really hate the fact that he had to deal with the Matt Nagy era at all. So I'll for me, I'll be courteous. If you don't want to, go ahead. That's on you. But I'll give him 2 years. Lawrence, I'm not giving up the first pick. Bears are the best team for him. Just need a center, wide receiver two, and we could get that in free agency. Yeah, free agency is going to be major as well. Free agency is going to be major as well. What they do in free agency is going to dictate some of the things that they may do in the draft. In my opinion, if you trade Justin Fields, you accumulate a draft pick, or however you accumulate draft picks in the later rounds. I feel like you need to stay true to what you said when you came in here. You need to build through the lines, add more depth to the offensive line, add more depth to the defensive line. You got a defensive coordinator who has dealt with uh, um, quality pass rushers, quality defensive linemen throughout his career. He has the pedigree to do it. He has the resume to do it. So adding more defensive linemen, I think, is a must and will be a huge help to the Bears. Offensive lineman would be my first go, though. Offensive lineman would be my very, very first target. For instance, I'm probably going to be picking an offensive lineman uh, coming up in this mock draft in a minute. I want to just answer some more of your questions. You guys are great. You guys been awesome this whole year. This off season should be great. Hopefully, you guys continue to join us on the Tape Never Lies. Become a patron for all the breakdowns. Uh, the draft mob. You'll have Phil breaking down. I know he has chapter 2 probably coming out of Caleb Williams tape, so that should be out as well. It's going to be a very, very fun off season. So become a patron today. Big Bear backer. It's time to change the culture. Start with quarterback. Honestly, I love JF1, but can he win in the playoffs where the margin for error is small? Lamar is perfect example. Yeah, the comparisons. It's weird. The comparisons they when those guys fail is closer than when Lamar succeeds. Because like I just don't see it. I don't see it on a regular basis, the comparison. But yeah, I mean, look at Lamar. If Lamar, and I don't think it was majority of Lamar's fault. I think Lamar had a tough game, but you start to get the narrative starts to build, right? The narrative starts to build. You start to get this, you get a tag put on you. People start to call you a choker artist or what have you. We haven't seen Justin yet, but you know, look at his fourth quarters. Look at the lack of comeback or comeback wins that he's had. I mean, that those are the only things I could, match up with a playoff experience. But even that isn't a playoff experience, isn't a playoff game. It's hard to compare the two. That's the closest I could get is the lack of success leading your team to wins in the fourth quarter. But as far as like play and as far as success, Lamar has been head and shoulders above Justin Fields, even when he first got into the league. I mean, there was some hiccups with Lamar, but you can tell that Lamar he was just a little bit more polished of a QB, right? Yeah, he had the runs. Yeah, he could run. He was very athletic, scramble ability, escapability, all that. But you could tell that there was just throws that Lamar made that were on time, that were NFL throws. He didn't need his wide receiver, 3-4 yards open for him to throw the football. It was just certain things that he did better, and he just is a better player. It's my opinion. Let's keep going. Bullets. Ivan, if we don't trade that number 1 pick, then do we have to trade that number 9? We only have 6 picks this year. I would look to be trading 9. If you do trade 9, then you open yourself up to a lot more talent. You give yourself multiple shots at it. There's a lot of guys that I feel like can make an impact for you in that second round early. So yeah, I wouldn't be opposed to trading back 9. I wouldn't be opposed to trading back 9 at all. Depends on what is asked, right? You still want to get the most bang for your buck. Not going to be as much as a number 1 overall, but you got a top 10 pick, offering it up to a team in the teens to late teens or early 20s. You could get something nice back for that, right? You could get something really nice back for that. You could get something that could help you out this year even, as far as draft picks are concerned. So looking at number 9, in my opinion, would be the target if you want to trade back and really add some depth or add some more pieces to your draft. So it is what it is. AB, get your ass on the show. See, hey, like I'm telling you, Bullets, he doesn't want to listen to me. You guys got to go ahead and dox Bratcher. Tell him to get on the show. Hit him up nonstop. I'm giving you permission to flood his DMs. Go ahead and do that. I'm giving you permission. He has no say in it. So there it is. Corn, Bratcher. Here we go, Richie. And we know all And we know any QB that comes to Chicago and elevates us significantly, they will immediately be embraced. Super Bowl, should the legendary status, that's legendary status for us. Yeah. That's another good point. Uh, the fingernail paints, the eccentric dad. I keep hearing that the father is very involved. I don't know how eccentric he is, but maybe he's just involved. We'll just say he's involved. He's not. I don't think he's quite LeVar Ball, or we would have already heard him, but I guess he's involved. Regardless of that, the fingernails, the crying, with mom on after the game. He comes in here. He becomes, he's a good guy. Teammates embrace him. The fans embrace him. He's not, he's not doing things that are detrimental to himself, the football team, or embarrassing to the organization. And he wins for you. None of that crap matters. None of the fingernail, none of the extra BS matters anymore. He's the guy. He's our guy. That's just how it is. And if they keep Justin and he turns it all around and Justin becomes a great quarterback and he leads us to wins and we become a playoff team next season, if they go that way, it should be the same. It should be the same. There's a lot of animosity between the two camps, Justin and Caleb. I'm under the Chicago Bears camp. Like I said, if it's Caleb, awesome. If it's Justin, well, all right. But it better be corrected. It better be corrected. So that's just on me, guys. I want to go ahead and jump into this. Hold on excuse me. I want to go ahead and jump into the draft. It looks like nobody wants to come ahead and join me on here. So we'll just go ahead and get started. I'll see you guys in the chat. So you guys will just keep me company and we'll talk it through right on here. Looks like we got looks like we got a donation here. Corn, $5. Bratcher on ABS. That's what I'm telling. Look, Alan, if you're out there, you got, look at people are donating for the cause to have AB on the show. Don't let the fans down, Alan. I know you're out there. I know you hear me. Don't let them down. All right, let's go ahead and get into this. We're going to use PFF's draft simulator for this one. I like it because you're able to force a trade if need be. We will be doing that a little bit later with some of the draft picks. Let's just go ahead and get started on this one. Obviously, Caleb Williams is the number one ranked player, followed by Marvis Harrison Jr., Drake May, and Malik Neighbors. For me, like I said, Caleb Williams is my guy. If anybody has any other inquiries, go ahead and bring it on the next mock draft we'll be having right after this one. So in a couple minutes, let me know what you guys want. But for right now, we'll be drafting Caleb Williams, number 1 overall, to the Chicago Bears. Now let's look how it plays out. Caleb Williams goes number 1, followed by Drake May, number 2 to Washington. Malik Neighbors, number 3, which, okay, I guess. Marvin Harrison Jr. to the Cardinals. Brock Bauer to the Chargers. Jaden Daniels to the Giants. Joe Alt to the Titans. And Drazan Newton to the Atlanta Falcons. Now the Chicago Bears on the clock at 9. Bullets had mentioned a trade scenario before, right? But right now, like I said, we'll get to that in a second. Some of the teams that I would think would want to trade up, probably in this group here. If you're looking to jump up down here, we're probably going to be asking for a lot more, which would be great. As far as we're concerned, because we would gladly accept as much draft capital as necessary. But let's look at the picks that are out there. So Rome Odunze out of Washington, great receiver, could be that number 2 that we're looking for. Cooper DeJean, cornerback out of Iowa. We need another cornerback. Obviously, we're looking to sign Jalen Johnson, but as of right now, they got cornerback listed. I would want to add much quarterback cornerback help as possible, but I'd be looking for it later on in the draft and not so much up here. But Cooper DeJean is actually a really good player and would benefit any football team. Olu Fasanu, this is the guy that I would really want here at number 9, right? Big, physical dude. Uh, I would prefer, like I said, I would prefer an upgrade or a stronger, a little bit more athletic player at left tackle. Not that Braxton Jones can't play in the NFL, but that's just kind of where I'm at right now. So for me, right now in this first draft, I'm gonna go and sit on a tackle. I'm gonna go with Olu Fasanu, number 9 overall. Oh, you know what? We might have to. I might have screwed up here. So we might be doing something faster than three. I don't think I set it to 3 rounds. Well, regardless, I'm going to draft Olu Fasanu right here at number 9 overall. I'll fix up the mock draft. Hopefully, we could redraft him. If not, we'll go another way. Like I said, I just like the idea of marrying a quarterback with with a tackle, guy that's looking for a little bit more physical, stronger. He's got the length, got the size. Let's see if he could, let's see if he can't help us out on the offensive line that, is, I guess you could say, has been better, but definitely has a major hole in the center of it and can use some help on that left side at tackle. Bill Wagner, no Bratcher on ABS. Oh, okay. Oh, there's a battle here. There's a battle here. We got a civil war. We got a civil war about AB coming on ABS. Corn versus Bill. So right now, Bill's in the lead with the $10 donation. I appreciate you, Bill, and I appreciate you too, Corn, as well. But yeah, I miss Bratcher on here, so me personally would like to see Alan Bratcher jump on the show. But yeah, so let's just get back to this. Let me go ahead and fix things here because I screwed it up. Uh, right now, like I said before, I want Caleb, I want Fasanu. But if here, let's set this to 3, Chicago Bears. There we go. But if that's not the case, I would be looking for an edge guy. I would be looking for a guy like Verse. If a guy like what's his name, Dallas Turner is out there, I would look for somebody like that. And then on top of that, if you don't get or if you find a trade partner that's offering you something that you like, you could go ahead and trade that down and accumulate as much as you want. So let's do that. Let's go ahead and our first trade will be at 9. I'm going to draft Caleb Williams. Bears draft Caleb Williams. First trade at 9. Let's look who it is. Rams at 19. Told you somebody around here will probably be trying to jump because it's kind of affordable still. You'll get a quality talent and you don't have to give up as much as you probably would have to if you were living down here with some of the top tier teams. But Rams, let's see what the Rams have. 19, 51, and 83. I don't know if we're going to. I think we could get 19, obviously. 51. And I would be looking at a third rounder next year. Or I don't think the Rams will be crazy enough to jump up to 9 and give up 3 picks in their draft. Although they have a lot of picks in this draft. Let me see. 1, 2, 6, 9, 10. They have 10 picks in the draft. But I would say they'd give up 19, 83, and either one of these two, and I'll go with that. with the Pittsburgh Steelers draft pick. Let me go ahead and bring this up if you guys can't see. Cortez moved back a few spots. Great pick, smart move. Oh, I'm a little further back. Sorry, the chat's rolling quick on me, so I'm trying to keep up with you guys. Uh, let's see, Jeffrey. I say trade back at 9 and get an early second if possible, and get McConkey. Okay, I'm looking for a center. So like I'm also looking for if we're looking for to trade 9 and we're not looking to accumulate one of the top tackles up there. We need to make sure that we strike at one of the top linemen, in particular center, so we could so we could have somebody to build off of, as we could have somebody in place. I got to check out the top center free agent centers coming up here. I know Coach Dre was talking about a couple guys, Andre James from Vegas, and I believe the guy from Miami, Connor Williams, are both out there. So they could go the free agent route as far as center is concerned, and look to add a guy like McConkey. Uh, to me, I would just hope that they leave themselves enough room, or leave themselves a pick to go ahead and establish some more offensive depth. Now, do you guys like this trade with the Rams? Like the Rams, I would be asking for these guys right here. Probably leave them with 83 then, when you come to think about it. 1951, they're jumping up to jump back into the top 10. You're leaving them with 7 picks. I could also see them trading for 2020 25 pick as well. So I'm kind of torn here on whether I want to trade with the Rams or not. But since they're the only one that's offered right now, I'm gonna go with those 3 picks right there. I'll say 19, 51, and we'll take was it Pittsburgh 6 come next season? Anybody object to this? Doesn't doesn't seem like anybody has an objection, so we'll go do that. We'll trade 9 to the Rams for 1951 and a pick next season. Trade accepted, of course. So who'd they pick up? They went up, they jumped up and grabbed Jared Verse. So obviously they, in this fantasy world, the Rams have an affinity for Jared Verse. They would jump up to go ahead and grab him. Nate Wiggins goes next. Then Jaden Daniels to the Minnesota Vikings. Cooper DeJean to Denver. Bo Nix to the Las Vegas Raiders. Dallas Turner to New Orleans. Jirzan Newton to the Indianapolis Colts. Talis Funga to the Seattle Seahawks. Quinion Mitchell to the Jaguars. And you have Fasanu goes to the Cincinnati Bengals at 18, which sucks because I would really have enjoyed drafting Fasanu. All right, here we go. So let's see. Tieran Arnold at the top of the rankings. Then you got J.C. Latham, right? Brian Thomas, Jackson, Powers, Johnson. And I'm not even gonna lie, y'all. I'm gonna go get Jackson Powers Johnson. If you've seen him, a mammoth of a man. uh, physical. So I told you before, I want this to be the draft. The Chicago Bears correct their offensive line, especially at center. And if he's available, I'll go ahead and go get uh, Powers Johnson all day. It's just you need to fix that center position. We saw how bad it's been um, with Mustafa. Even with Lucas Patrick, he wasn't able to be effective at all. Yeah, it might have been great in the locker room, might have been a good guy, but like I said, wasn't effective when it came to playing center for the Bears. Just people might have a different opinion. I don't see why he wasn't very good, but it is what it is. Let's see. Kool Aid McKentry goes. Tieran Arnold, Aramis Mims, Byron Murphy the second. Lad McConkey goes at 24. Sorry. Troy Fautanu, hopefully I said it right, goes to the Packers. Chris Braswell end goes to the Tampa Bay Bucks. J.C. Latham goes to the Cardinals. Jordan Morgan, Buffalo Bills. T.J. Tampa goes to the Detroit Lions. Kamari Lassiter goes to the Ravens. Brian Thomas Jr. to the Chiefs. And that would be actually, I mean, honestly, I could see that being a solid pickup for the Chiefs. Scary as it is, they could get better just with a few guys here at the bottom. They can get better as long as they got their guy at quarterback. And I'll say it again: as long as they got the guy at quarterback, they'll be able to do some damage come next season with whoever it is they draft. Darius Robinson for the 49ers, and that is the end of the first round. And to be honest with you, I'm not gonna read all these damn names anymore. We're just gonna go right back to getting on the clock. All right, so got the center, right? Got the quarterback. Sitting here at 51. Let's take a look at playmakers, right? Take a look at playmakers. Devontae Walker, Jermaine Burton, Xavier Legit, Jalen Polk, Chavian Saunders, Ricky Purcell, Roman Wilson, Braden Rice. A lot of talent right here. I'm going to go with another. Let's see. Who's on the defensive line? Interior D line. Got to get rid of all the rest of them. Leonard Taylor, I like. And I like Fiske, too. Ends. What we got for ends? You know what? I'm going to take the top-rated safety. Cameron Kitchens. So now you added a position of need because I feel like you're going to get rid of Eddie Jackson. Going to need somebody to come in and replace him. I'll go with Kitchens. Now, I could be completely fucking off. Kitchens could be a bum. Going to continue to do my due diligence on that. But as of right now, I'm going to take it on surface level and go after the best rated safety that was available, and that was Cameron Kitchens out of the University of Miami. So now, come back to the receivers. Jalen Polk. Like I said, I'll go after the top rated wide receiver here. So we'll add a receiver for us at 75. Let's see what they give me. No. All right, well, for the 3-round mock draft, looks like we get an A. We traded back with the Rams to 19 got 51, got a 6th round draft pick next year, but it could be any, it could be a 5th rounder, could be a 4th rounder. I just decided to go ahead and go after this one in particular because they had multiple of them. But if you look at the players we added, Jackson Powers Johnson, Cameron Kitchens, Jalen Polk, right? And if he falls down, if Polk falls down this far, all right. Again, this is just a mock draft. This doesn't hold any, true weight at all. It's just us having fun. Bill Wagner, Ivan, I'm with you. Ivan with you of Miami defensive backfield. I love it. Uh, yeah, I mean, hey, if he's a top rated guy, I mean, it doesn't. The team may have sucked, but if he's quality, I'll take him. If he could play and he could adjust, I'll take him. So that was our second. That was our second mock draft after the initial one. Obviously, if we kept 1 and 2, I would take Olufasanu and or Caleb Williams and Olufasanu. If we trade 9, this is somewhere where I would be in. I would be cool with something like this. You add to the line, you add receiver, you add to your defensive backfield, who's going to need safety help. Excuse me. So great replacement for Boja. Okay, so yeah. So Bill obviously has seen Cameron Kitchens. Me personally, I have not watched a lot of Miami football this season. But if he's, like I said, if he's coming in here and he's able to make an impact, I don't give a shit where you're from. I want you on my team. All right, let's do 9 again before we get into 1 and all the crazy shit starts. All right. Let's do one more 9. Caleb Williams, right? And I'll just read off the top 10. I won't go through the top 25 like I did last time, the top 32 like I did last time. Drake May, Joe Alt, Marvin Harrison, Malik Neighbors, Jaden Daniels, Cooper DeJean, Bo Nix, and the Bears are on the clock at 9. Where do we go here? Let's see. The Raiders, 13. So the Raiders want to move up 4 picks. 4 picks to number 9 from 13. So obviously 13 would be in play. I'd ask for 44. And I don't know. I'm pretty sure you could get away. Maybe with the 7. Maybe. Let's see. I mean, let's take a look at what the computer says. They think that it's likely that they'll trade this. I think that you're still looking to add. So you might ask for, like I said, a 6th or 7th round draft pick. Looks like they want to hold on to that 44. So I could just see something like this, 1377, and then asking for a 5th rounder next year. I don't think I think it'll drop if he had a 4th. Or maybe a 4th rounder next year. So, all right, if the Raiders want to trade back at 9, since they're the only ones on here right now, 1377 and a 4th rounder are probably likely, right? So they jump back into the top 10. We get we get an extra draft pick this year, and we add a draft pick next year. Reasonable? Can we add? See, then it starts to drop a little bit when we add one more. Let's see if we can add that. 89% chance. All right, let's say he finesses them a little bit. Let's say Ryan Poles goes and finesses. We won't go at we'll go. No, we'll say at 150. We'll stay in this draft. We'll go 1377 and 150 for number 9, and that's what we'll do. Moving down to 13, Raiders select Olu Fasanu at tackle, right? And now, if you're like, oh well, that's they took your guy, why the fuck would you trade him? Well, if you weren't paying attention at the beginning of the show, this part of the mock drafts, I wanted to just kind of focus on the trades. Number 9, kind of screw around and have fun with where we could go, what teams want to offer trades potentially. Again, this is just a mock draft that offers shits and gigs. None none of this is for real, but our opinions are for real. And I just think that if you're going to trade for a guy like if you're going to trade with a team like the Raiders that's only like 4 picks back, try to get as much as you can this season, uh, just for the impact sake, right? Just so you can have a guy that you can assess right here, right now, that you could put on the roster, you could see in training camp, uh, and try to develop right here, right now. I like having, I like having a bird in hand. Like, don't get me wrong, I like having the extra draft picks, but I would very much rather see them approach it aggressively rather than passively when asking for compensation for some of the draft picks or potential trades that um, they're going to be asked for. So here we are at 13. We got Illinois' Jazan Newton. We got Talalise Fuaga, Nate Wiggins, cornerback Dallas Turner, Jared Verse, Tieran Arnold, Latu Latu, Quinyon Mitchell, Brian Thomas Jr. So we got the works, right? We got the works here at 13. Again, I'm looking at tackle. I'm looking at center. I'm looking at edge, right? So let's say we don't like Fuaga, right? For whatever reason, just like I said, whatever reason we don't like Fuaga. Let's say we want to go with Dallas Turner. So this time around, we're going to take Dallas Turner. We got a D lineman. Got ourselves a D lineman. And we really went, let's see. Yeah, we shot down to round 3. Let me see this. Oh, here we go. Dallas Turner. Then Fuago goes right after that. Johnson. So a few names went right after that. Wow, Penix got selected by San Francisco in this. Look, Johnson gone. I imagine that. Got a couple guys gone. Kitchen's gone. Let's see, the Fiskey's gone. Sweat's gone. Yeah, so a lot of guys taken before us, before 75. Now again, I would be looking at a guy like Bullard, a safety, here in the 3rd round. I know I drafted one at 51 last time around, but I was just going after the best one available. So right here, I think you could. I would be okay with the safety in the 3rd round as opposed to 51. Obviously, if they're available, Javon Bullard, we'll go ahead and take you best safety available at the time. Check out tackles: Blake Fisher, Christian Jones. Now I'm gonna get into like I said, Phil, Shane, Cars. They're gonna go ahead and get into some of these names that don't jump off the page at you. I'm gonna search for a playmaker right now. See if we could. Let's go with Jamari Thrash. Jamari Thrash will get. We'll sign another playmaker. Or we'll sign a playmaker at wide receiver. Let's see how we did. So, yep. Like again, got an A+ in the draft. Like going, just thinking about, just trying to see what is available. If you trade down, just getting an idea of who may or may not be available. Again, all this could change. This can all change. This, it's not, like I said, it's not concrete. Don't take it as that. If you are, you are wrong. But if you go after, if you get a Dallas Turner at 13 after trading down a couple spots, open yourself up to adding another playmaker here in Thrash, and then obviously I had yet another draft pick later on in the draft, but we're only doing 3 here tonight. Michael H., the Georgia safety, was in his 70s. The Georgia center was closer to a top pick, to pick 110. Frank X. The Chicago Bears also traded all their fanboys along with Justin Fields. Jeez. The jokes, right? Like sometimes the jokes are the best in this civil war between the Justin fan base and the fan base that's advocating for Caleb Williams to be drafted and become the Bears quarterback. Damn right, Cuthbert. Smash the like button, please. I appreciate it. Also appreciate all the super chats. It helps out immensely. Uh, Appreciate just all the interaction that you guys have been giving me. Regardless, it's been very fun. It's been enjoyable. Hopefully, we could keep this going throughout the off season. Now, let's move forward. Let's get into the fun shit, shall we? Let's start trading the number 1 pick. Now, with all the rumors circling around, we're going to go ahead and start with the Washington Commanders. Washington, number 2, number 36, number 40 are probably all going to Chicago, if you're going to ask me. So let's start there, right? 2, 36, 40. What else? I want a 1 next season. What else? And give me a 5. That's what I want. Oop. That's what I want. That's what you should be fucking asking for if you're Ryan Poles. Let your nuts hang out there. Be aggressive. Don't let them fucking punk you. Straight up, tell them I want 5. That is not enough draft capital to move off Caleb Williams. There's no way Washington gets that up. It's not enough, or it's way more enough? It's not enough, or it's way more than enough? I don't know if you miss. Okay, okay. That's, well, Hendricks. Don't. I don't want you to unsubscribe, but like I said, this is where we start. Like, this is a starting point. Like, for me, in my eyes, you start with 5. If Ryan Poles wants to start with anything else, hey, I'm all for it. But 5 is, if you want to call it the minimum, Hendricks, then let's just call it that, just so we can agree, and you can stay a subscriber. The minimum is 5. Dan Beeks 5 for 1 at least. Yes, at the very least. What more do you want, Hendricks? Like I said, this is our mock draft. It's not that shouldn't be all me. What do you want? So I got 236-40. Want to add a 67 there? Let's take the 5 off. Let's say you give me a 3. Is that enough? Yeah, but Kansas City didn't know Mahomes was Mahomes, Hendricks. Kansas City wanted Jake Locker the year before. And they moved from their spot to go get him, or they tried to move from their spot to go get him. Like I said, what would you want for Caleb Williams? Right now we got 6 picks up there. What more should we add? Okay, well that's a different story, Hendricks. That's a different story. I want to keep the pick too, but in this scenario, we've already did the scenarios where we keep the pick. In this scenario, we're trading the pick. So let's all help out. What do we want to start with for our Caleb Williams? I'm good, Kerry, right there. 6. Hendricks is obviously on Caleb forever, which is great because I want Caleb as well. Uh, yeah, I don't know if anybody knew Mahomes was going to be Mahomes. I think they saw the talent and they went after the talent because they missed out on a quarterback the year after, and he was just blessed to have the coaching staff. I mean, he's very talented, the best quarterback I've ever seen, talent wise. But like, who's to say that they knew exactly what they were getting into? Nobody knows. Even my wanting of Caleb Williams, I hope I'm right. And I hope he is this guy because I see superstar potential as a quarterback, as a passer in Caleb Williams. So, like I said, Hendricks, I'm with Hendricks, but we're working on scenarios now where we trade Caleb Williams. I know it hurts people. I know it's like twisting a knife in you, but we trade Justin. Or we trade I mean yes, I hope we trade Justin, but we trade Caleb, we trade the number 1 pick. And I won't get greedy. I'll leave him with this. Yeah. Try to be as realistic as I can be. Um yeah, I'll take 3 next year. So 3 this year, 3 next year. Do you want a player instead of that pick? Do you want Jerron Payne? Because then you're talking about less draft capital. Or do you just want the draft picks? Trade down again and pick up Daniels. Okay, there's another one. 2A all day, include Payne. All right. You know what? That's the first help I've gotten is from 2A all day. So we're gonna do that 2A. We're gonna include Payne. I'll take the 3rd rounder out. And how's this? 236-40 in this year's draft. 1st rounder next year, and Deron Payne. Don't have your fan hat on now, guys. Put on your GM hat now. Kerry Franklin liking that? Okay. That's realistic. Okay. All right. So that's where we go. This is where we go. All right. Don't freak out, guys. It's gonna happen. This is all fake. It's just for fun. We're trading the number 1 pick to the Washington Commanders. There it is. Caleb Williams selected number 1 overall. Now we got 4 trade scenarios. Let's see. We got Atlanta. We got the Raiders again at 13, the Rams again at 19, and we got Detroit at 29. Interesting. 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 So I think we have the Falcons at 8. I want to move up to 2. We have the Raiders. We have the Rams. And we got the Lions, which I think the Lions is a little bit unrealistic because I'm asking for, again, I'm asking for your mama's house. I'm asking for everything. Give me the deed to it all. But yeah, exactly, Kerry. Fuck Detroit. Well, Los, like I said, we're trying to make it as realistic as possible. I know I'm offering, you're not getting 8 or 9 draft picks for Caleb Williams. It's just not. You're just not getting that. You're gonna get this year. You probably get all the, like I said, you get top 100 picks in this year's draft, players that can help you right now, and Deron Payne. If I wanted to, I would have just give me all your fucking picks because I think Caleb Williams is going to be that guy, and that's where I stand. Like, don't get me wrong. If I'm sitting there in real life as a GM, yeah, give me 6 first-round draft picks, and we'll call it a day. Or give me 7 to 8 draft picks within this year and next year, and we'll call it a day. But I just trying to make it as realistic as possible, so we don't have people complaining as much in the chat, or people saying this is bullshit and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean that's you got their entire draft, 4 draft picks. You get the first rounder, and then you get a bona fide defensive disruptor in the middle of your defense who's proven. Yeah, I think a proven Deron Payne is worth, third, fourth rounder in 2025 that you don't know of yet. You know what I'm saying? Like I think that adding a player that can contribute and that has contributed on football teams and has proven, I think that outweighs some of the draft picks, and that's why it evens itself out in the end. But we're trying to trade 2 now, so I'll stick close. I'll say, okay, we trade with Atlanta 8 to jump up to 2. It'll be 43 and 109. Trade accepted. So we go down to 8. Trade with the Atlanta Falcons. Pick up 43 and 102. Is anybody opposed of drafting at this spot? Do we have? I mean, we could. We're not done with trade scenarios. Don't worry. We still got some more trade scenarios going on. The mock draft isn't over. Like I said, it's not just one. We're doing a bunch here. So next time, if people want to see Marvin Harrison Jr. drafted, we'll draft Marvin Harrison Jr. If you want to talk this on through the show, like I said, next time, join the show. DM me. I'll get you on here, and we can discuss it live with everyone. But for right now, we're just going to go this route. Jaden Daniels, Jaden Daniels, let's see. Are you the guy? You will be the guy. So we'll take Jaden Daniels here at 8. Now, what does this mean? Does this mean Justin still gets traded? Obviously, right? Or they start up a QB competition. Let's see, wide receiver. Looks like all the receivers got taken. Oh, the top receivers got taken at least. You still got Brian Thomas, Troy Franklin, Lad McConkey, Keon Coleman, Adonai Mitchell. Oh, tackles, you still got Olu, Salis. You still got some of the top tackles left here. I mean top 5 when I say top. So let's see. Take out cornerback, edge rusher, interior D line. So we got Olu here, and I think we're going to go ahead and draft him at 8. Now 9. Four trade scenarios with 9. Broncos. Giants want to go back into the first round at 9. That'll cost a lot. Let's see. Giants want to jump back to 39 from 39. I would have to take all of this. I would have to take their entire fucking. I'll take 39, obviously, 47, 70. And then I'd be looking to take third, the second, third next year. I just don't like the Giants trade. I don't like it. See, New Orleans, what do they have? We have 14, 45, 136. Then they drop a little further down as far as spots are concerned. Raiders, I like 13, 44, 112. I think we did that last time. 112 for 9, was it? Let's see. 112. Nah, we'll say this is fine because they're like again moving up 4. Want to give 150. We'll say that 150. You get 3. They get 9. I want them to be aggressive. So here we go. Out of the top 10 now, Jaden Daniels is there. I'll take Jaden Daniels at number 13. So 2 picks, 2 trades, 2 picks, or excuse me, 3 trades, 2 picks. You got Olu Fasanu, Jaden Daniels at 13. And here we go picking at 36. Anybody has suggestions here at 36? Right, but hey, I know. It's just what I'm trying to do is appease everybody else, right? I'm trying to appease some of the people. I'm just saying, hey, look, here's what we could do. We could trade here if you want to trade here. We could trade there. I think this is about as realistic as it gets. Trading anymore would probably be wrong, but it is what it is. So looking at defensive interior, Brandon Fiskey still there. You got Tavondre Sweat, who I really like. Chris Jenkins as well. Wide receivers, Keon Coleman. You know what? I'm going to go after Keon Coleman, one of the top playmakers in this draft. Keon Coleman taken at 36. We got some safeties still in there. Tyler Newbin is still there. Defensive interior. We'll go with Chris Jenkins. I'll still go with Kitchens here. On the clock. Let's see. Interior O lineman. Cedric Van Pran would probably be a guy looking at later on. Like if you're not going to find a top center, Zach Frazier here at 41. This guy I'd look at too in Cedric Van Pran, but since Zach Frazier is the top center right now with the interior lineman, we'll go ahead and just grab him at 75, which is our original pick. I would say let's take Braden Rice to help Caleb Williams, but we don't have Caleb Williams in this mock draft. So let's move forward. Where else could we go ahead and take a look at? We got Kitchens. Let's see. Where are the Kitchens? Oops. Offensive tackle. Let's take a Notre Dame guy, Blake Fisher. Well, two trades, like I said, Deron Payne, the number 2 overall, second round 36, second round 40, and a number 1 next year. I think that's realistic. Whether they trade these 2 picks, 8 and 9, yet to be seen, or whether they trade down after that from 2, is yet to be seen. But I'm just trying to give you as much scenarios as I can so we could see who falls where or who will be available where or potentially be available where. Again, shits and gigs, fellas. Shits and gigs. Let's do another one. We'll do the Caleb situation again. I know obviously we have a difference of opinion in what is realistic and what is not, but that's okay. So let's take the draft picks, right? Let's say this is what we offer, right? Or this is what we want. You get 4 picks this year, 2, 36, 40, 67, and the first and second pick next season. What do we see? Is that enough? Do we think that's lowballing it? Do we think we need to ask for a little bit more? Alex H says more. Okay. Well, then I would just say let's add the player. So let's add a Deron Payne. Now, you have that plus Deron Payne. Thomas Adams says yes. Oh, thank you. Actually, it is clicked on the number one pick already. Um, it just won't accept it. So I'll offer it up without forcing it. And yeah, they're not gonna the computer won't allow the trade to be made. So the computer's telling us no, Alex, that this is not wanted by the fake Washington Commanders. So let's just go ahead and try to make it a little bit less of a burden. I would say take off pain. Mm, take off pain. Let's add the second rounder. Or you know what? Let's take off 36 and let's add pain. Let's do that. See if this percentage does anything, which it's not going to matter anyway because I'm going to force it regardless of what they do. Duran Payne. Yeah, it just won't do it. So we'll do that. God, I just want to add that 36 just because it just you're you're wanting to get the most, but I want to make it as realistic as possible. Like I said, I'm already getting shit from it, but from 2A, but yeah, let's stay there. Let's stay here. Let's not go any further. Uh, a one and a two next season. You get three this year, and Duran Payne. I think it's a fantasy, but if we're talking about you want the most for a guy that's obviously going to be uh, uh, the top commodity, why not ask for, like I said, why not ask for everything? But I don't want to go ahead and be, like this. Here we go. Let's turn everything into blue. And that's what I want for Caleb Williams. Because, I mean, obviously, there's going to be um, a stopping point somewhere. So I think four of their picks in this year's draft is unrealistic. I could see it being three. Do I see them taking away 36 and it being 67? Yeah. Can I see this two being a four? And can I see this one being a two or a three? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think you could go that far. I think they're stuck with one. They're giving up two ones, right? I think they're stuck with giving up three picks this year, a one next year, another pick next year, and potentially a player. Hendricks, I think they all want out of Washington. I think they all want out of Washington. Kerry Franklin says no. Hendricks says no. So four picks. Let's go four picks since we want to. Let's push the limits here of what you guys think. Four picks plus. Oops. Plus, let's stay with the fourth. Plus a one and a four in Duran Payne. Kerry says yes. And we know where you're at, Hendricks. Hendricks still says no. But we know where you're at. Um, yeah, so I think that's a good amount, right? Like that's kind of where you start. Like I said, five draft picks is kind of where I was starting. We're talking about six plus a player now. Okay, all right. This is where we're gonna start. This is where we're gonna take it. All right. Commanders trade number 2, 36, 40, 67, a first rounder in 2025, a fourth rounder in 2025, and Duran Payne for rights to the number one overall draft pick from the Chicago Bears. And it would be funny as shit if they draft Drake May right here, which would fucking ruin the whole thing. We have to start over. But here we go. Let's start. Caleb Williams. All right, perfect. Okay, we will stay at number 2. We'll stay at number 2. Marvin Harrison Jr., obviously, second ranked player in the draft. Still got quarterbacks, Drake May, you got Malik Neighbors, Joe Albaugh, yada, 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 yada. Let's go ahead and just get the playmaker since we miss out or since we pass on the quarterback. Let's take the playmaker and Marvin Harrison Jr., which I wouldn't, if something like that were to happen, like I said before, I'm not going to be mad about. I'm going to grit my teeth. I'm not going to put the player down by any means. Going to be disappointed that we don't have Caleb, but we have, we would be getting a potential superstar in Marvin Harrison Jr. That's not a joke. That's no doubt. So we go ahead and we drop back down, or we drop down to 9. We're at 9 now. Jared Verse goes ahead of us. So does Awalu Fasanu, Malik Neighbors, Joel Romadunze, Brock Bowers. Anybody interested in Brock Bowers at this spot? Trade to 3. Kerry, yeah, I'll trade to 3 in the next draft. Next draft we'll focus on messing with the Patriots and taking some of their picks right after this one. No interest. No interest. Okay, no interest in Bowers. 2A all day says Bowers. Take Bowers. Right now we have 2-1 2A, so I'm not sure if we're gonna go with Bowers in this one. Interior lineman. We could take Newton. Excuse me. We could take Newton. Frank says Dallas Turner. Yeah, so I'll say this. We'll try to find some common ground, right? Because we want playmakers. Let's add that. So we'll have, as far as playmakers are concerned, Bowers, Thomas, Franklin, McConkey, Coleman, Mitchell, Walker, Burton, Leggett, Polk, Sanders, Pershaw, Worthy, all available. Ask yourself if you want the next Travis Kelce. All right. Alex says trade down. That's right. You got to clear your throat a little bit, Corn. Sometimes you're a little bit parched. Got to drink a beer to keep going. Trade down. Kerry wants to trade down. Anybody opposed to trading down? Going once, going twice. So we got the Broncos that want a deal. Broncos at 12. They got 76. We got 75. So we'd be picking back to back in the 3rd round, I believe. Since we picked up the Washington pick plus our pick from Washington in the 2nd. We'll have 3 picks in the 3rd. Okay. They want to move up. 3. Now ask for 121 from Miami. All right, so we're picking 12. We added the 12th, the 76th, and the 101st pick from the Denver Broncos, or from the Miami Dolphins via the Denver Broncos, or vice versa. But you guys get what I'm saying. Let's resume the draft. They picked Jaden Daniels, so can't pick Jaden Daniels now. Sorry, guys, but they go ahead and nab Jaden Daniels. We have Marvin Harrison Jr. sitting here at 12. There's Dallas Turner. There's Fuaga. Corner Nate Wiggins. There's Cooper John. J.C. Latham. Latu. We'll sit here. Let's see. Chargers are asking for a trade. I'm not really interested in trading with the Chargers. Just kind of want to stick to this. All right. All right. We'll draft a player in this spot. We won't trade back down. I think we're good. We've been good as far as accumulating draft picks in this one. Jackson at 12. Yeah, I mean, I don't see Jackson. Like if we wait, see if we could get him at 36. See if we could wait and get into the second round. I think we're playing with fire. Uh, yeah. We got the playmaker right. We got the playmaker. We need to solidify that middle. We need to go get our guy. So, we have to have the balls to do so. Let's go get Jackson Powers Johnson at 12. We got Powers Johnson at 12. Trying to see if there was a run on things. A little bit of a run on ends. 36. Who do we got? Let's see. Who's offering a trade? The Lions. Yeah, no. Don't think so. Let's see. Who's at defensive interior? We got Fisky. We got Sweat. Taylor Carter. I really like Sweat. I mean, Fisky's really good as well, but like I've seen Sweat play. I like his game, but we'll stick with the top player for now. Like I said, everything's surface level right here. I know we need defensive interior help. You have Fautanu. I got to pronounce these Polynesian names. I gotta get better at it. He's ranked 35 as a tackle. I don't see why not. Interior lineman. Who else is there? We don't need one at 36. Let's see the safeties. Newbin. Anybody opposed to going after Keon Coleman? Alex wants the left tackle. Sweat and Dexter next to each other would be fun. Yeah, like I said, I really think Sweat is a good player. I think he'd be fantastic for us. But we still got to go through the tape. Still got to cross all the T's and dot all the I's and make sure we know everything we can about the guy. Newbin, well-rounded player. Yeah, I'm just looking at the spot. We got 36, and we went after our guy in Powers Johnson. Let's see who's top overall. Where is it? There we go. So Penix. You got Bracewell. At this point, if I went after Johnson and I went after Harrison in the first two rounds, I would think that there'd be certain positions that are going to go attack in free agency, especially like potentially defense and pass rusher. As I said before, adding one one more guy to make it, Sweat and whoever it is. I don't think that's enough. I think you need three. And it would be awesome if you could have two veterans at the ends and have a third guy, waiting in the wings. I know they thought Robinson was going to be maybe that dude that develops, but that hasn't become the case. So you need to look for more help. Not to say that he's a veteran now, not to say that he can't help, but I'm looking for uh, a guy who could be dynamic and who in a few years can, you know, earn a contract with you and move out one of these veterans, one of the veterans, or just, maybe earn a contract, be looking to earn a big contract somewhere else. If we could keep him, we could keep him, but I need him to develop into that wild card type of guy. I need him to be there, when Sweat needs a breather. I need him to be there when, whoever the other guy on the other end needs a breather. So for me, I'll be looking for pass rushers as well. Um, whether it be right here or not, I'm not quite sure. I'm gonna go with another playmaker. I'm gonna go. Hmm, no, this is really hard. Like Alex is killing me right now because I want to take the tackle too. I want to take the tackle too. Cuthbert, you say left tackle. Jerry says Sweat. Edge from Missouri. Edge from Missouri. Edge from Missouri. Where is he? Right, he might have been already taken. Yeah, you're talking about. Oh no, no, that's a cornerback. Edge from Missouri. Let's see. I don't think I would take. Did I just miss him or something? No, here we go. Robinson. There you go. Darius Robinson. He's right here. He went to 27th to the Arizona Cardinals. So we will not be getting a Robinson. But I'm going to go ahead and take the tackle. I'll just. We got another pick coming up, so we'll take the tackle first. Now we got pick 40. Polk went. Another tackle went. I'm not even going to butcher that man's name. And Penix Jr. went to the New York Giants. So sitting here at 40, that we obtained from the Washington Commanders in the trade for the number one pick. You got Keon Coleman, another playmaker. We're set at, let's see, we got wide receiver, center. We got a tackle address, so we added more talent to the offensive line, more competition. Sitting here, where would you guys like to go to next? Cuthbert mentioned safety. Safety, I was going to take a look at in the third round. I don't know if I want to take a shot right here. Let's look at the safeties. Anyway, Newbin's still there. All right, you know what? Let's go ahead and just let's jump it. Let's take a Newbin because he's probably not going to be there when we get to 67. I would imagine he won't be there. So let's take the top rated safety. It's a need of ours. So Tyler Newbin, Chicago Bear. Now we dropped to 67. See if there was a run on some safeties after Newbin got selected. No, but Zach Frazier, there's a safety that went. Keon Coleman went right after that, though, which sucks because he goes to Green Bay. Those fucks. Uh, Kitchens goes to Miami. So there would have it would have been highly likely that he would have went there. So we get the top rated guy for whatever that means right now. Everybody's draft board is going to be different. The combine is going to separate some of these guys. The pro days will probably do a little bit of that. It's not obviously you're supposed to have a great day at your pro day, but but we'll see. We'll see. So yeah, we took the tackle. Now we're sitting here at, or excuse me, we took the safety. Now we're sitting here at 67. We have 3 picks and it's over, right? We're 67, 75, and 76. Devondre Sweat is still there. Or Devondre Sweat is still there. So I'm gonna take Devondre Sweat. I'm actually kind of it's around where he was being projected or ranked, but I really think he's a talented player and could be disruptive for any team he plays for. But let's move on. We got a defensive lineman now, so we went D line, safety, O line, wide receiver. Do you really want JJ here? Oh, and he's gone. So sorry, no JJ. Where did JJ go? It goes to Atlanta of all places. I would have taken him, but he gone. So sorry, guys. Move things forward. Do we like any running backs? We pretty much solved. Well, we got everything here that we wanted. Quarterbacks, running backs. I like Blake Corum. I also like Audric Estime. Estime, I would like for the simple fact that I think we need somebody that's going to blow holes open. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody that's going to just make the hole for for the rest of us. And Audric Estime would be an awesome ad if that's what the Bears wanted to go. But I don't think that that's the type of style that they want to run. You know what I mean? I as much as I like him, I think he'd be beneficial in like a Baltimore system. I don't know. That's just me. So we got 2 more picks. Some of you want to take a quarterback here. Looking at running backs as well. Let's check out the wideouts. Jamari Thrash, Blake Corum. Yep, and yeah, we're going to continue to hear these rumors. I don't. Whoever they draft, you know what I'm saying. Whoever they draft, or if they don't draft them, if they stick with Justin Fields, you're just gonna have to. We're just gonna have to play it out, man. We're kind of at their fucking mercy right now, because we're we're trusting that they know what they're doing uh as far as the quarterback situation concerned, know what they're doing as far as the coaching staff is concerned. We're just kind of at their mercy right now. We can only do our own due diligence. I feel like Drake May is a different, Drake May has a bad rap because of the UNC and Trubisky comparisons, which isn't fair at all. We don't talk a lot about Drake May because of Caleb Williams, but that's simply the fact. That's simply because we have the number 1 pick, and in my mind, and in like I said, majority of the people's minds, these scouts' minds, Caleb Williams is the outright overall number 1 pick. Drake May might be the number 2. He might be the number 2 or he is the number 2 quarterback. He might be the number 2 pick overall. But for right now, I just feel like I could only focus like on my guy that I would want. Now we're gonna definitely get into Drake May. Don't get me wrong, but right here, right now, I'm going to focus on Caleb Williams, and we'll go on from there. Drake May, don't hate him, don't wish him any ill will, but I just don't know enough of him to say that, yeah, you know what? He should be the guy. Shane's right. We should go with what Shane says. I think we go with what Ryan Poles says, and we go with the best talented guy. I mean, I'm sure Caleb and Shane Waldron can find common ground in building a team together. All right, let's wrap this one up because we're getting into 2 hours here. Bucky Irving, is a speedster. I'd like him in the backfield. I like Quorum. Quarterbacks, yeah, I don't think we're gonna be drafting a guy right here in this spot. Maybe if they fall a little bit late, a little bit further, maybe the Bears go after one. Maybe they bring in another undrafted like they did with Tyson Bagent. But I'm down with the speedster running back if you guys are. What tight ends are left? Let's see. Tight ends. Cade Stover, AJ Barner, Theo Johnson, Dallin Holker, Bennett Sanat. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know these names as much as far as tight ends are concerned. If you have a suggestion, I'm all ears. See, two I ought to do one where you trade Justin for the 20th pick and then flip that to get a second round pick. No other trades and see what we get. That's a great suggestion. All right, let's wrap this one up and then we'll go Oracle. Oracle of House Stover is good value there. All right, well Oracle, you know what? You swayed me. We're gonna go with Stover because I've been on this pick for entirely too long, and we got one more to go. So Stover it is. All right. Let's go. Final pick of this mock draft, and then we'll do one or two more depending on how I feel. Let's add Bucky Irving at running back. Or you know what? Let's add Jalen Wright at running back. Try to stick with the best available. So we'll add Jalen Wright at running back. That turns this out to be a B plus draft. I'm pretty sure Cade Stover dropped my letter grade, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter. We've completed a draft. We've added draft picks. Got our guy. I don't really pay attention to the letter grades because it's if you want your guy, go get your fucking guy, and that's that. You know what I'm saying? Like it is just because they have him ranked here doesn't mean you have him ranked there, and it is what it is. I think this would be other than giving up Caleb Williams. If this was the route that they went, I would be a little less pissy, but I'm still pissy. Okay, we will trade to 3 now. We're going to trade to 3 and deal with the Patriots, and then we also had that suggestion from 2A all day where we trade Justin for the 20th pick. So first things first, we will be trading number 3 with the New England Patriots. Let's get that going. Commanders, Patriots. Where are you? There we go. So let's see. Patriots have 3. That's coming. 34, 68, 103. First rounder next year. Is there anybody on this roster defensively? And I would just say Christian Gonzalez off the top. But is there anyone else defensively that you would want to trade for or go after that would be beneficial for the Bears? Just more draft picks? Okay, more draft picks. That's all Alex wants. More draft picks. All right, let's take that. And for shits and giggles, give us our 232 back. So 7 draft picks in total for one. That's what you guys think. That's what it's gonna take. And you guys got to imagine, whatever happens here. Like, let's say it's Caleb Williams. Well, the next, there's going to be a string on quarterbacks. There's going to be a run. I would imagine, it'd be Drake May, Jaden Daniels, or maybe Jaden Daniels, Drake May, whatever it may be. Quarterbacks will be, moving off the board. At least the top 3 will be moving off the board quickly. Remove the future 2. Okay, we'll remove the future 2. Why did I trade? But we were trading it through. We're just working a couple scenarios that people have asked for, Alex. So we're trading to 3 right now. So 3 got a first rounder next year. You got their entire draft, pretty essentially. 6 for 1. I'm not sure. I still say I would want. All right, if they want to keep the second, I'll go after a third, right? But I'd still take that. Is that enough? Barmore, yeah, that he could. Okay, let's see Barmore. Defensive interior. So you get an interior guy. Take off that pick. So 6 picks and Christian Barmore, interior defensive lineman. Remove 68. All right, guy had 8.5 sacks last season, so we're adding somebody that could help right now. I mean, I could just, like I said, I've been forcing these trades all day, Alex. So it doesn't matter. It's a 1% chance, and that is not the one time that we were going to get an okay. So let's just say 334, 103, and Christian Barmore. We'll do that. Anybody oppose? One, two, three. No? All right. Trade done. New England on the clock. And New England takes Drake May. Out of all the fucking things they could have done, they take Drake May. We'll take Marvin Harrison Jr. Now, do you guys want to trade back here? We got Denver and Detroit again. Detroit really wants to move up. Stick with Denver. That give me the Miami. Denver will accept that. So all right, we traded out with New England. Marvin Harrison Jr. at 3. Traded with Denver. We moved down to 12. We add the 76th and the 121st draft pick. All right. Resume draft. On the clock. We have pretty much our pick. Last time, remember, we went up and grabbed Jackson Powers Johnson. I still say that would be the same move. Bowers here. Let's take Bowers at 12. Yep, and we're going to go ahead and still take Jackson Powers Johnson at 34 because he escaped the first round and the 33rd pick. So we get our center. Now here we are in the third round, 75. Going ahead and take the safety, Bullard. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and take Roman Wilson as well. Or I could take the tackle that dropped. But I mean, if he dropped, there may or may not be a reason. So I was really going the first round. Let's see. What else do we got here? Benson, Lee. Who do we have as ends? Select it later. A couple guys rated about this spot. Let's see if we can find any more. Who's the quarterbacks left? Tungavailoa, Hartman, Melton, Travis, Radler, Pratt. Anybody want to take a quarterback? Dolores. So Dolores, okay. Dolores. 74 at 76. That concludes that draft. So what we did was we traded for Barmore, the number 3, the 34th, the 103rd, a first rounder next year, and a third rounder next year. Got Marvin Harrison Jr. Traded the 9th pick to 12 for traded the 9th pick for the 12th pick, the 76th pick, then the 121st pick. Picked up Brock Bowers at 12. Picked up Jackson Powers Johnson at 34. Picked up Javon Bullard at 75. And added Brandon Dolores as a defensive lineman at 76. Overall, the grade's staying solid. The grade is staying solid, which is cool. But again, wherever the actual scouts rank, it might be a whole bunch different. But if you're gonna ask me if I'm happy with this unit of guys, I would be very happy. Again, a little gritting of the teeth because I think the quarterback is the most important. But yeah, Mulva. Yeah. So I think that quarterback is obviously the most important. We should go after Caleb Williams. But if the scenario paints itself to this, I would not be opposed to this. Now, Brock Bowers dropping, obviously that's going to be it would be, huge. So don't think that Brock Bowers is going to drop to 12. I mean, he very well might. He very well might, but I think has enough talent to be a top 10 player. Jackson Powers Johnson, like I said, he was ranked like about 10 spots lower than where we took him, but or in the previous drafts, he was ranked 10 spots lower than we took him. But if you got your guy and you don't see a path to him falling back to you, and you see somebody else scooping him up, by all means, I wouldn't oppose it. Um, Obviously, we could have situations like Miss Trubisky where we obviously all do oppose it, but yeah, it is what it is. You go after your guy if you have conviction on him. All right, let's do one more. What was the? There was one more, I believe. 2A was the trading Justin for the 20th pick and just playing it as it is. So let's do that. Let's trade Justin to the Steelers for pick 20. Which I'm more than sure they would trade 52 and 84 before they would trade 20, but we'll go with 20. Forced trade. Start the draft. All right. Selecting Caleb Williams, number 1 overall. Number 9, give me a Dunze. Did I not get that? Did it not trade that pick? We might have to start over. I don't know what the hell just happened. I'm pretty sure I traded that pick. I traded for the 20th pick. I don't know why it just screwed me right there. Yeah. Yeah, we're going to start over. All right, here we go. Bears, 3 rounds. Enter draft. All right. Yeah, it says I'm not receiving anything. All right, we'll just do it that way. Whatever. I don't know why it didn't do it initially, but it works now. Anyway, Caleb Williams, number 1. We picked a Dunze last time. Well, I'm going to go with the tackle, Olu Fasanu. And here at 20, my guy Jackson Powers Johnson. that's where I'm gonna head. 75. Braden Rice, who's somebody familiar with Caleb. And that'll be how that looks. If we trade Justin Fields for the 20th pick overall to the Pittsburgh Steelers, this is what it would kind of look like. Now, obviously, people are gonna Jackson Powers Johnson might not be there. Olu Fasanu might be taken, a little higher. You know what I'm saying? So always take it with a grain of salt, some of these mock drafts. But anyway, I've had fun with you guys tonight. I've had a blast. I thought it was going to be a little bit shorter of a show, and I was going to try to breeze right through it, but no, sir. It's been fun talking Bears football with you, talking draft. Wish that we could get just kind of a sneak preview of what's to come. Just try to get some of the thoughts that are coming out of the war room up at Hallis Hall, or the it's just so frustrating being in the dark, up until the draft starts to get closer and closer and closer, where you're hoping and praying that the Bears, make the right choices. You're hoping that, some of the guys, that are coming out, that you have an affinity for, do what you believe that they can do. Um, Very, very tough, very exciting time of year. I always enjoy it. It's kind of nerve wracking, but it's very enjoyable and satisfying at the end once you do stuff like this, like I'm doing with shows. Uh, uh, coming on here talking football with you guys, talking different scenarios. Chicago Bears, always appreciate it. Always appreciate you guys coming on here and supporting me, and really helping me get through this and enjoy it. Like I enjoy doing these shows. I enjoy interacting with you guys, and of course, man, we love our Chicago Bears. So as long as I can keep talking, I'll keep doing this and keep talking about our Bears and keep speaking the truth like we do here on the Tape Never Lies Network. But anyway, I'm Ivan Vargas. That it was mock one of the NFL draft. For me, like I said, I'm going to add another round or two. I'll probably add the fourth and the fifth round later as we continue to get deeper into the offseason, as you guys continue to find hidden gems, find guys that aren't being respected, that aren't being noticed, and or really just continuing to push for the top guys that you like, or you have an affinity for. So anyway, appreciate it, guys. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the Tape Never Lies. Become a patron today at www.thetapeneverlies.com. I'm Ivan Vargas. Make sure you check out Keeping It 100 this week. I believe there's a Cars Keys as well, if not, if I'm not mistaken, but I'll have to double check. But anyway, check out the other shows this week, guys. We like it. We love you. We appreciate you guys. Anyway, until next time, peace.